Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. 7 more people. Right. Today we will start some compilation and execution of the structures. థర్టీ అవుతుందమ్మా, ఇంకా జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారు. వెయిట్ చేద్దామా 2 minutes. 35 స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా?
చేద్దాం సార్.
We will start by 1:35. Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I will zoom it. I will full screen it. ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ లో పెడతా నేను. కొంచెం అందరు వచ్చిన తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ బై 1:35. Okay. కనబడుతుందమ్మా స్క్రీన్ ఓకేనా?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, right. So yesterday we discussed what is structure and what is the syntax for it, and we also discussed what are the types of structures. There are two types. What is the first one? First one is tagged structure. Second one is typed
Type
structure. Today we start again with the simple definition, and we are going to discuss almost four important points. I mean, four important side headings. The first one is how to create. So first we start with a simple definition, just opposite to array definition. What is the structure definition? Just opposite. In arrays we said homogeneous. Instead of homogeneous we will say heterogeneous in structure. What is the array? Array is a collection of homogeneous elements. So here, opposite to that, structure is a collection of, you can also write in your notebook, rough notebook or any class notes, if it is available, you can also write in that. A simple definition.
Okay.
No need to go through all the, what we can say, that unit 2. That unit 2 contains, if you read 10 to 11 to 20 statements also in the second unit, you will come up with the only one simple definition, that is structure is a collection of heterogeneous elements, where heterogeneous means different data types. That means if you group some variables, all variables should not contain the same data type. అన్ని కూడా ఇంటీజర్ ఉండవు, అన్ని కూడా క్యారెక్టర్ ఉండవు. For example, I want to store roll number 1 data. For example, when some roll number 1 is there in our class, I want to store his details in the database. Then I will store his name. First I will store his roll number, which is an integer. So I must create the variable of type integer. Then I will store his name, which contains almost characters. So for characters, hello, చెప్పమ్మా. అది ఒకటేసారి జాయిన్ అండి అమ్మా, మళ్ళీ 7 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఓకే, అడ్మిట్ కొట్టేస్తున్నా. ఓకే, ఒకటేసారి జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. రైట్, ఓకే అమ్మా. So collection, right? Next, after storing the name, we will talk about percentage. First we talk about student roll number, which is integer type. Second one is character type, name is character type. And third, we are going to store how much percentage he got in the class, that we are going to store in the floating point type. We cannot create that percentage as a integer variable, because percentage will contain fractional part. So that fractional part we must define as a floating type. So we, first one, roll number, we said integer. Second, character, for storing the name we said character. And the last one, for storing the percentage, we said floating type. So how many types we got? Integer, character and float. All these three members, three variables, are three different types, but we have to group together, because all this roll number, name and percentage belongs to only one candidate. So under that particular candidate, we have to group these three elements, these three variables, we have to group as one single name. But when you group together all these three variables under single name, we cannot use the array concept, because the array means all three variables must contain only one data type. For example, all three variables must contain integer only. If one of the variable is character, all remaining two must be character only. So that is not available here. When we talk about different data types, we will use structure only, because structure is a collection of heterogeneous, or we will use the simple word
Elements.
different data types, different types. Before that, let me save this one, F2. I am saving it as struct1.c. struct1.c. I am naming it as, already the document is already there. Overwrite it, replace the earlier one. So structure is a collection of different data types. Earlier I have given one example. When we talk about one particular student, the student will contain roll number, name, and percentage. All these three variables what we are talking about are three different data types. So what is structure? Structure is a collection of different data types. With that, the structure definition is completely over. More than that, you no need to write anything. Next, whenever the question comes, in yesterday's WhatsApp group, I have given some important question regarding structure. He will ask you about what is a structure and explain briefly about structure. Then what you are going to write about structure. And the second one, in the second example, in the second question, he asked about what is structure and how to define, initialize, and access the structure elements. Like that, one more question is there. Whatever he may ask you, if the question is structure, we must write four important things, four important side headings we have to write. When you write four important side headings along with this definition, that structure topic is over. So first one, what is that? Before that, we already discussed types. So apart from that, four important points we have to remember, four important side headings we have to remember. First one is how to define a structure. First point, define a structure. This one we will talk about. In the first phase, we will put a side heading and how to define. Define in the sense nothing but creating a structure. That means when I talk about a student, I
Sir.
want, yeah.
సార్ ఇక్కడ నా ఫ్రెండ్ వెయిటింగ్ లో ఉన్నారు, యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయగలుగుతారా ప్లీజ్?
ఓకే అమ్మా, చూస్తాను. Still 7 members are waiting here. All right. Yeah, first important side heading, the first important thing we are going to discuss under structure is how to define a structure. For example, if I talk about a student, I have to store the name of the student and roll number of the student, and percentage of the student. All these three properties, or all these three members, all these variables, three variables, name, roll number, and percentage, I have to group as one unit. That one unit is nothing but structure. But that one unit, that structure, student structure, how you are going to create is we are going to discuss under first subheading. So defining structure is nothing but creating a structure. That structure contains, for example, if I talk about student structure, that contains a roll number and a name and what we can say, that percentage. When I talk about employee structure, that employee structure will contain what? Employee ID it contains, employee name it contains, employee salary it contains, right? Employee ID is nothing but integer type, employee name is nothing but a character type, employee salary is nothing but a floating type. So all these three variables belongs to only one employee, so that I have to group all these three elements under one single unit. That single unit is nothing but a structure, because all these three variables are belongs to three different data types. That three different data types we can group under one single name by using the structure only, not by using the array. So first we talk about how to define a structure. Then second point is, whenever you create any integer variable, for example integer a, we know that immediately for a variable memory is allocated, and into that a we can store any number. Integer a with name a in the memory, 2 bytes are allocated. Into the 2 bytes we can store any number, starting from 0 to 65535 numbers, up to that range we can store. But when you create a structure, immediately for that structure memory is not occupied. This is the important thing regarding the structure you have to remember. What is that important point? When you define a structure, the memory is not allocated for structure. Why to allocate the memory for structure? If you allocate the memory for structure only, then only you can give the values to, for example, you created student structure. For example, student structure contains roll number and name, and it contains a percentage. But if you don't allocate the memory for that particular roll number and name and percentage, you cannot give the roll number value, you cannot give any name, and you cannot give any percentage. To assign these values, we must allocate the memory first. So defining a structure means you are just giving a prototype. Structure ila untadi అని మాత్రమే చెప్తున్నారు, but memory is not allocated. So what we have to do to allocate the memory? What we have to do? We have to create a structure variable. Second point, after defining a structure, we have to create what? A structure variable we have to create. Second subheading, structure variable we have to create. After creating the structure variable, whatever the variables we created under that structure, all members, all variables under that particular student structure or employee structure will be allocated with memory in the RAM. When memory is allocated for variables, we know that we can assign the values. So second, the third point is sorry. The third point is initialization. What is initialization? Giving a initial value. First, we will define a structure, then we will create a variable for particular structure. Whenever variable is created, that all the variables in that particular structures are allocated with memory. When memory is allocated into that memory, into that roll number memory, into that name memory, into that floating point percentage memory, we will give initial value. We will give what? Initial values. That is nothing but initialization. Nothing but
Sir,
చెప్పమ్మా. Still
sir,
fine.
any bytes memory allocate అవుతుంది sir structure కి?
For example, we are talking about student structure kadamma. So it contains what? First one is integer. Second one is what? Character. Third one is float. So the memory occupied by that particular student structure is the sum of all the sizes of that particular structure members. దాంట్లో ఎన్ని మెంబర్స్ అయితే ఉన్నాయో ఆ మెంబర్స్ సైజెస్ అన్ని కూడా మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుంటే ఆ వచ్చిన టోటల్ సైజ్ అనేది మన స్ట్రక్చర్ యొక్క ఫైనల్ మెమరీ సైజ్. సో ఎనీవే ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్.
Okay sir.
Anyway, I will explain you. Then third point is initialization of structure. Initialization means nothing but giving the initial values. That's it. The structure. And whenever the initial values are given, finally we will what we are going to do? We will access the values. First we will create the structure, then create the variable. When you create the variable, memory is allocated. When you created memory, into that memory we will initialize. That means we will give initial values to that particular structure data. Whenever you give some values, we also access the same values from the structure. Then access the structure, access the values from structure.
Sir,
So with this, yeah,
స్ట్రక్చర్ లో మనం అరేస్ కూడా స్టోర్ చేసుకోవచ్చా?
we cannot store arrays. Arrays means only similar data types. అంటే అన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ కూడా సేమ్ డేటా టైప్ ఉండాలి. ఇంటీజర్ అయితే అన్ని ఇంటీజర్ ఉండాలి, క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే అన్ని క్యారెక్టర్ ఉండాలి, ఫ్లోట్ అయితే ఫ్లోట్ ఉండాలి. ఇక్కడ స్టూడెంట్ స్ట్రక్చర్లు అన్ని ఒకటే టైప్ ఉన్నాయా? రోల్ నెంబర్ వచ్చి ఇంటీజర్ ఉంది మనకి. నేమ్ స్టోర్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే నేమ్ లో అన్ని క్యారెక్టర్ స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాము. పర్సంటేజ్ స్టోర్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఫ్లోటింగ్ టైప్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాం. అంటే 3 డిఫరెంట్ డేటా టైప్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ 3 డిఫరెంట్ డేటా టైప్స్ ని ఒకటే యూనిట్ లాగా మనం స్టోర్ చేయాలి. అప్పుడు ఏం వాడుతావు నువ్వు? అర్రే కాన్సెప్ట్ పనికిరాదు కదా అక్కడ.
హోమోజీనియస్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కాదు కదా సార్.
సిమిలర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కావాలి అర్రే అంటే. సిమిలర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్
స్ట్రక్చర్ లోపల మనం ఇంకో అర్రే స్టోర్ చేయొచ్చా అని అడిగాను సార్.
వి కెనాట్ స్టోర్ అర్రే.
ఓకే ఓకే
సార్
చెప్పమ్మా. అర్రే అంటే ఎలా అడుగుతున్నావు అంటే వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ ది డాటా మెంబర్ యాజ్ అర్రే. డాటా నెంబర్ ఉంటది కదా,
అదే అడిగాను సార్. ఒక మెంబర్ ని మనం అర్రే కింద క్రియేట్
that we can store member, that whatever the data member is there, that variable is there, that variable we can create as array. Integer array we can create, character array, anything we can create.
ఎందుకంటే స్టూడెంట్ నేమ్ అంటే మనం అరే స్టోర్ చేస్తాం కదా, సో అదే డౌట్ వచ్చింది.
అది ఓకే, అది క్యారెక్టర్, అది అర్రే. అది ఎందుకంటే when you create character name, that can store only one single character, but name contains more than one character kada, so we must create the character array. In that case name must be a character array.
Okay sir, thank you.
Still 6 members. Okay. Right. Okay. So whenever the question comes, long answer comes in the examination, we start with the definition and we will explain how to define a structure, how to create a structure variable, and how to initialize the structure, and how to access the values from a structure. These 4 important points మనం రాసినామంటే most of the case 90% of the structure topic is over. And now we start with what? Define a structure. Today's class we will have an example on define a structure, and after defining a structure, and we also create the variable for structure, and then initialization and access. One by one we will see. Just note down in the rough notebook. These 4 points if you explain in the examination, the structure topic is over, 90% is over. So we start with defining a structure. First one I am putting in a single comment. For your purpose I am writing define a structure. Define a structure. So how to define a structure? To define a structure or to create a structure, we must start with the keyword struct. Must start with the keyword struct. Earlier ninna chusnam example, struct keyword followed by tag name. In this example I am just talking about the first category of the structure. 2 types an anukunnam. First one is a tagged structure. The second type is a type definition structure, but I don't talk about type definition. Just if you know that there are 2 types, that is sufficient. But mostly we are going with the first one only, first type only. So tagged structure only we are using in the example. So how to create that particular tagged structure? It follows with the struct keyword. That the struct keyword is a predefined keyword. We discussed in the first unit, 32 keywords are there. In that, one of the keyword is a struct that cannot be used as a variable names, function names, and array names, structure names, anything. Already we discussed those things. So when you are creating a structure or when you are defining a structure, you must start with the keyword struct, and that is constant, and followed by that particular structure name. The structure name is student. What I am creating? I am creating a student structure. That student structure name can be anything. You can write a class, you can write whenever you are talking about employee, you can write employee. So that is tag name can be anything, but according to the rules and regulations that we discussed in the first unit, that identifier rules we must follow. Then you open the brace, then you close the brace, and you must keep the semicolon. In between this opening brace and closing brace, we are going to group different data types. Those different data types are those variables, whatever we are going to write under this opening and closing brace are belongs to student. What is student? Student is a structure. Into that student structure, we are defining what? We are grouping some variables of different types. The first one, what student contains? Student contains first a roll number. What is the type of that roll number? Integer. The type of the roll number is integer. Second one, student also contains a name. Name is what? Name is a character type. But what you created only name. But into that name, under that name, whenever you create the memory, only 1 byte is allocated. Into that 1 byte, only one single character you are going to store. That one single character memory is not at all sufficient for storing your surname also. Okay, single character, then we cannot define any name. At least name should contain a 15 characters, so that we can store surname, middle name, first name, last name, anything we can store into that 15. What is name now? Name is array of 15 characters.
Characters.
Now you can store a name up to 15 characters length. Name can contain 10 characters, and name may contain 9 characters, 6 characters. So it may be very different. But the maximum number of characters into that name we are going to store is 15. More than 15 we cannot store. If you want to increase, just to change the 15 to 20. So the maximum number of characters you can store into name is a 20. Right. The third variable I am going to create is a student will have roll number, name, and he may have the percentage, total SEM percentage also he will have. But percentage type is what? If you write integer,
Float.
if you write integer, what will happen? If the person got 99.9 percentage, that 9 we are neglecting because only 99 is considered. So we don't create integer type, we will go for what? Float type.
Float.
This roll number, name, the percentage, if all these three variables are integer type only, then we don't come for the structure, we will create only array.
Array.
ఇప్పుడు అన్ని కూడా సేమ్ టైప్ అయితే we don't create any structure, we will simply go with the array. But that is not the case. All these three, roll number, name, and percentage, are of different data types. So there is no option at all. We don't even think about array. We must and should use this structure. So we defined a structure. What structure? Student structure. That student structure contains roll number, name, percentage under single unit, because we opened brace and we closed the brace. In between that, we created one single unit. That single unit name we given as student. Now student contains roll number, name, and percentage. When you create this structure, when you define this structure, the memory is not allocated for the roll number, name, and percentage. When the memory is not allocated for roll number, name, and percentage, we are unable to store the values into that particular roll number, name, and percentage. What is the purpose of creating the roll number, name, and percentage? To store some roll number into roll number, to store some name into name, to give some percentage into the percentage only. We created those variables. But if you don't allocate memory, you cannot store anything. Just dummy. That what is that? The definition is dummy. And then what is the solution? Then we go for what? We go for creating a variable.
Structure variable.
Variable. When you create a variable for that structure, then what will happen? That memory is allocated for roll number, name, and percentage. Till now I said that roll number, name, and percentage, variables, and all. We can also use one terminology here. Data, the members of the structure. What are the members of structure? Roll number, name, and percentage will become members of the structure. Which structure? Student structure.
Student structure.
Now if I say how many members student structure contains, means 3 members. What is the first member? Roll number.
Integer.
Second member is a name, and third member is percentage. Overall, that student structure contains what? 3 members, 3 structure members. Right. Then with this we completed the first important side heading. What is that? Defining a structure is completed. Next we will go for the second subheading. What is the second subheading? Creating a variable. Why we are creating a variable? We are creating a variable for a student structure, so that what will happen? The memory is allocated for all the members of that particular student structure. And one student asked me just now, what is the size of the particular student structure? If I ask you what is the size occupied by the roll number, you can say 2 bytes. What is the size occupied by the name, means 15 bytes. What is the percentage will take the memory? How much memory it will take means it will take 4 bytes of memory.
4 bytes.
4 bytes. But all these three you grouped under one single name as a structure. That single name is what? Student. You grouped under student. Now, what is the memory occupied by the student structure means the sum of all the sizes. So roll number 2 bytes, and that particular percentage is what? 4 bytes, 6 bytes plus this 15 bytes. How many bytes? 21 bytes of memory.
21 bytes.
21 bytes of memory is occupied by that total student structure. Now, I'm opening the void main because without main function, we cannot execute our program. Can you execute the main our program without the main function? We cannot execute it. We must have one, at least one, not at least one, only one program will contain only one main function. So we must write the main function in order to execute. So here, again, I'm keeping the single quotations. I'm writing what? I'm talking about the second point, creating a variable for structure. When you create a variable, what will happen? Memory is allocated for all these three members. So when the memory is allocated, we can store anything. We can store anything into roll number, name, and percentage. So right, what is the syntax? Syntax is creating a structure variable is again follows with the struct keyword. See, all the keywords are with the white color. Struct is now in the blue color. When I type T, it becomes a white color. That means it is a keyword. See, void is also keyword, floating point also keyword, character, integer, struct. All the keywords, all the predefined words are reserved words are displayed with the white color. Space. Struct, for which structure you are going to create a variable? For student structure, that student name. Struct followed by that structure name followed by variable name. What is the variable? S. Now what is S? S is a variable. Which type variable that is? That is a student structure type variable. Now tell me how to create a variable for student structure. First start with the keyword struct and then space followed by for which student structure, for which structure you are going to create that structure name. So now I'm going to create a variable for student structure, so that name only I'm writing here, and then followed by
Sir, voice break అవుతుంది sir.
what?
Voice break అవుతుంది sir.
Voice break అయితుందా? ఒక్క నిమిషం.
అవును sir.
Hello. Okay, Nama.
Okay sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay sir. Okay sir.
Right. So for creating a structure variable, this is the syntax. Starts with the struct keyword followed by structure name, and that S is what? S is a variable. What do you call that S? S is a
Structure variable.
which structure variable? Student structure type variable.
Student
Now
type.
S will have under in the memory with name S, under name S, what is created? Roll number, name, percentage. All these three variables memory is created under S. S will have copy of roll number, name, and percentage. Copy of roll number, name, and percentage. S లో ఉంటాయి మొత్తం కూడా మనకు మెమొరీ ర్యామ్ లో చూసుకుంటే రోల్ నెంబర్, నేమ్, పర్సంటేజ్ ఆ మూడు కూడా ఈ ఎస్ అనే పేరుతో మెమొరీ ఆక్యుపై ఉంటాయి. సో into S we can create with this we created what? Memory occupied by, to the roll number, name, and percentage with the name S. You got it? అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? ఎస్ అనే ఆ వేరియబుల్ కింద మనకి ఏముంటాయి? రోల్ నెంబర్, నేమ్, పర్సంటేజ్. ఈ త్రీ మెంబర్స్ అనేవి ఎస్ లో ఉంటాయి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఫర్ క్రియేటింగ్ ది స్ట్రక్చర్ వేరియబుల్. And when you create the structure variable, memory is allocated for data members, that members of the student structure. So this is one way, and you can also ignore this one. This is one way of creating. This is called creating the structure variable in the main function. Second one, we can also create structure variable here also along with the structure definition. Here before the semicolon also you can create. So So what is S? S is a structure variable. You can also create like this S1. So S1 will have roll number, name, percentage as a one copy. Into that you can store first student marks, I mean roll number, name and percentage. And what about the second student? Again you have to create
S2.
S2. S2 will have the one more copy of roll number, name and percentage. Into that second student roll number, name and percentage you can store. And what about the third student? S3 we will
S3.
into S3 we will have one more copy of roll number, name and percentage. Into that third student roll number, name and percentage you can store. Like that we have n number of variables we can create. In our class we have almost 60 members, so that last one will be S60. Into S60 again three copies will have roll number, name and percentage. One copy will be there in the S60, so that we can store the last student roll number, last student name, last student percentage we can also create. So this second one is called defining a structure variable along with స్ట్రక్చర్ డెఫినేషన్. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు స్ట్రక్చర్ డెఫినేషన్ ఎప్పుడైతే స్ట్రక్చర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారో అక్కడే మీరు వేరియబుల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే దాన్ని ఏమంటారు? క్రియేటింగ్ ఏ స్ట్రక్చర్ వేరియబుల్ అలాంగ్ విత్ స్ట్రక్చర్ డెఫినేషన్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ వే. అండ్ సెకండ్ వే is what? Creating the structure variable in the void main function. So generally we will go with the this normal definition only. So how to create struct followed by student and the variable name is s. So that I'm talking about only one student. I'm talking about only one student. So with this we completed creating a variable for structure. After creating a variable in S, we have the copy of roll number, name and percentage, so that whenever memory is allocated for that roll number, name and percentage, when you created the structure variable, you can also store some values into the roll number, right? So now the third point. What is the third point? Initialization of the structure.
సార్ 1 minute.
చెప్పమ్మా.
సార్ మధ్యలో ఎగ్జిట్ అయ్యింది సార్, నందన్ ఒకసారి యాడ్ చేస్తారా సార్? నెట్ పోయిందంట, మధ్యలో ఎగ్జిట్ అయ్యాడు.
అదే మనకు టైం ఉండదమ్మా, 40 minutes టైం ఉంటుంది. చేస్తున్నా రైట్.
సార్
చెప్పమ్మా.
మనము 60 members కి ఇలా మాన్యువల్ గా రాసే బదులు ఒక ఫర్ లూప్ గానీ వైల్ లూప్ గానీ వాడొచ్చు కదా?
అది నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ ఉంది. ఇంకా మనం ఒక సింగిల్ స్టూడెంట్ కి డిస్కషన్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మనం వి గో ఫర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ 60 స్టూడెంట్స్, వి గో ఫర్ ది 6000 స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆల్సో, నో ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఎట్ ఆల్.
ఓకే సార్.
In order to store the values into roll number, name and percentage, we must create the student structure variable, and we created that student structure variable. What is that? S. So under S we have the copy of roll number, name and percentage. Now we are able to store the values into that particular roll number, name. How to initialize? The third point, initialization of the structure variable. Initialization of the structure variable is same like initialization of the array. Just put the
Flower braces.
open the flower base, close the flower base, semicolon. In between how many members you have? Roll number you have and
3.
name and percentage. So first I am talking about roll number. I am talking about the roll number 101 comma. And what is the second structure variable is? Name. So what is the name? You can write any name, but what that name is a group of characters, nothing but a string. String must be enclosed in the double quotation, so that I am writing ABC, and you close with the one more double quotation, comma. So this is about name, second data member, second structure member. After comma we talk about percentage. Percentage I am writing 99.7 I am writing. So same structure, array initialization, same the syntax follows same like the array initialization only. Just open the brace and
Sir, disturbance with
Hello, open the brace. Hello, వినిపిస్తుందమ్మా?
డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది
సార్ ఎవరో టీవీ పెట్టినా సార్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది.
ఎవరు టీవీ ఆఫ్ చేయండి అమ్మా. హలో,
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
right. So equal to symbol, open the brace and closing brace. In between 101 will go into the roll number. Second, ABC will go into the name. Third, that particular 99.7 will go into the that particular percentage. So this is all about initialization. So initialization, after initialization, we go for the fourth important point, accessing the members. What is this called as? This is called as initialization. Initialization. First, we discussed about the first one. What is the first one? Defining a structure. Second one,
Create.
Initializing a
create
structure.
variable. And the third one,
Initialization.
initialization of the structure. Initialization means what? Giving the initial value. So values are given. The values are stored into roll number, name and percentage. Now we will try to access the stored values into roll number, name and percentage. How to access? That 101 is there in the roll number, ABC there in the name, and 99.7 is there in the percentage. We have to print those first student marks, first student roll number, name and percentage on the monitor. How to print? For that, we will use the dot operator. What is that? Simple dot operator.
Dot operator.
This is called as a dot operator. And also called as member operator. Any other names? And it is also
Accessor.
called as period operator. All these names are for only one single operator. That dot operator we will use to access the values from the structure. ఏవైతే వాల్యూస్ మనం స్టోర్ చేసుకున్నామో స్ట్రక్చర్ లో 101, ABC అండ్ 99.7, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఎస్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి స్ట్రక్చర్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఏవైతే మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నామో రోల్ నెంబర్, నేమ్, పర్సంటేజ్ అన్ని కూడా ఎస్ లో ఉంటాయి. ఆ ఎస్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి రోల్ నెంబర్, నేమ్, పర్సంటేజ్ లోకి 101, ABC 99.7 ఇవన్నీ కూడా స్టోర్ చేసుకున్నాం. We initialized it. After initializing, we need to access the values. For accessing, we will use what? Dot operator. Same dot operator is having some synonyms like member operator, period operator, but we will use only dot operator. That terminology we will use. So how to access the members of the structure by using the dot operator, we will see. First, we will write one printf statement, semicolon, double quotation, and here I am writing some backslash n for new line. What I am going to print? First, I want to print roll number. What is the roll number? Integer type or character type? Integer type.
Integer type.
Here,
Integer type.
percentile D. So in place of percentile D, I want to access the roll number of the structure, and I want to print. How to access the roll number in the student?
Structure variable.
The syntax
dot
is
roll.
structure variable dot. What is the structure
S
variable?
dot roll.
Is dot roll.
Variable is S. So structure variable name S dot. We will write what you want to access, roll number or name.
Roll number.
So you will write roll number. That means S1 dot roll number అంటే మీరు ఇట్లా చదవండి అమ్మా. S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి roll number. What is there in the S1? Roll number.
Not one.
Percentage.
101.
What you are trying to access? Only roll number. That means S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి roll number, S1 dot అంటే లో అని మీరు అనుకోండి. డాట్ అంటే ఏంటి? లో. సో S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి roll number you want to print in the place of percentile D. So first we will print only roll number. For stay back on the black screen, we will write ch and one clear screen function also. After declaring all the variables, I'm writing here CLR SCR. So Alt F. What is the shortcut key? Alt F9. Huh? So Alt F9.
Yes, sir.
0 errors. 0 errors. Next I am pressing Control F9 for execution.
Header files రాయలేదుగా.
No need. Whenever you are saving the file name with the .c, the header files are automatically imported.
Okay.
Automatically imported. But if it is good, if you write in the exam. So what is printed? A roll number in the place of percentile D. 101 is printed. What is printed?
101.
101 is printed. Next, I want to access the name. Then instead of roll number, what should I write?
Name.
Write name.
Percentile S వాడాలి.
You are going to
Percentile S.
access the name. S1 dot name. అంటే ఏంటంటే
Character type.
S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి name you are going to access. That is going to be printed as a percentile D. But name is a not write percentile D.
Character type.
Instead of you will write percentile
S.
percentile S. String is nothing but a group of characters. But when you are printing a name, you should not write roll number, right? So change it to name. Change it to name. So what you are accessing from the S1 dot name, S lo unna name you are accessing, and you are printing in the place of percentile S, and remaining is printed as it is. So now I am pressing F9, 0 errors, and I am trying to execute the program. Control F9. So what is printed? Name equal to ABC. So S1 dot name. S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి name. S1 లో ఉన్నటువంటి name అంటే name లో ఏముంది? ABC. What is the value we initialized with the name? ABC. Next, I want to access the last member of the structure, the floating point member. For that, I want to write what? S1 dot PER. What is there in the PER?
Floating point value.
99.7, but that is not a string. That is what?
Floating point value.
You have to write percentile F, and you are printing percentage, so that you write down PER percentage. Just try to execute the program. Control F9. So what is printed? 99.6 and something is printed, but actually all zeros have to be printed. It is okay. 99.9. So that is printed. So when you convert, you will get 9. Huh? So you write point after digits only. Like you can also write 0.2. You can write 0.1. You can write, and again if you write, press the Control F9. So 99.7 is there. What you given? 99.7 only, na? Right. So 99.7 is displayed. Once again, I am going to execute the program. Control F9. So percentage equal to 99.7. So what you are trying to access? You are trying to access S1 dot PR. What is there in the PR? 99.7. So till now we are talking about only S. S means one single student data. That means ABC student data we are talking about. ABC will have the roll number 101, and he got 99.7%. And what about the second student data? What about second student?
S1.
Like how you created S, you have to create again, put comma,
S1.
write down S2, again put comma, and write down S3. Like that, how many student data you want to create? Those many variables you create from starting with the S1, S2, S3, and the last student data variable will be S60. S60. And how to give the values into S2? Again, you write down the assignment symbol, opening the brace, closing the brace, and in between you write down 102, comma, and double quotation. In between double quotation, what you have to write? XYZ, second student name, comma, and he got less, what we can say, 66.1 only 66% only he got. So we try to print the second student. How to print second student? Second student variable name. What is the second student variable name?
S2.
S2 dot his name I want to print. So S2 లో ఉన్నటువంటి name I am going to print. What is there in the S2 dot name?
XYZ.
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 When you are printing XYZ, it is a group of characters. Don't write percentile F. Go for percentile S. In place of S, group of characters will be printed and change PR to name. So because we are going to print the name. So control F9, execute the program. You got what? A XYZ, second student data.
Z.
I want to print the second student percentage. I want to print. How to access the second student percentage? Second student variable name dot
S2 per.
that PR if you write S2 లో ఉన్నటువంటి percentage will be accessed and printed in place of percentile F. Percentile F. Here instead of name you have to write what? Because you are printing a percentage, you have to write a percentage only. Execute the program, control F9. What is printed? 66 point something is printed, right? So second student is added. So if you want to store the third student, again put some comma and you write down S3
S3.
equal to symbol, again open the brace, closing brace, like that. Not only S1, S2, S3, up to 60 student data you can store. Not only 60 student data, 6,006 lakh student data also you can store. Here you can get the data, sir, how many variables we will create manually. We will go for a array topic. Later, after two to 3 days we will go. So see, in this particular example, what we discussed, first one, defining a structure. First we created one structure, student structure we created. Then second one, creating variable. So then we created structure variable S. After creating the structure variable S, what will happen? Under S, the roll number, name and percentage will be occupied with some memory. So when memory is occupied for that roll number, name and percentage under S, we will initialize. How we initialize the array variables? In the same way, we will open the brace and we will close the brace. In between opening and closing braces, we will give all the values into the that structure members. So for S we created, for S2 we created, for S3 also we created, we initialized. And the third one, by using the dot operator. Dot operator is also called as period operator, member operator, and we can also use particular one. No, dot operator, one name. Later we can say dot operator, member operator, and period operator. So mostly we will use the dot operator. Dot operator is used for what? Accessing. For accessing the members of the structure. What are the members of the student structure?
Roll number, name, percentage.
Very good. Roll number,
Percentile.
name, percentage. All these three are members of the student structure. Right. So with this we completed what? All 4 important points, and all important 4 points I explained in the simple one program. So first one goes with the definition, second one goes with the variable creation. After creation, we initialized some 101 ABC 99.7. After giving some values, we also accessed those initialized values by using the dot operator. So with this we completed the 4 important topics, but we have to keep one separate heading, and individually we have to explain. When you see the material, you will understand what is how to write the structure answer. So what is the time?
27.
227.
sir.
So shall we discuss array structures also? Array of structures?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because we are unable to create. See, here we stored only S1 data, S2 data, S3. Only 3 students only we discussed. If you want to store 60 student data, what is the solution?
Arrays.
We will go for the array concept. So instead of writing like this, you remove everything. You remove everything from here to here. remove everything. So actually we are trying to create a S1 variable for storing the first student data, and S2 variable for second student data, and S3 variable for third student data, like this, so on, S60. But manipulating S1 to S60 data individually is very problematic. Instead of like this, we just open the brace, just open the this bracket,
Square bracket.
and semicolon. In between the opening and that square brackets, how many variables you required? How many students are there in the class?
60.
60. So if you have only 30 students, you write down 30. So that what is S? S is a student structure variable. It contains three members. What are the members? Roll number, name, and percentage. Each variable contains one copy of roll number, name, and percentage. Each structure variable will have one separate copy of roll number, name, and percentage. అన్నిటికీ ఒకటే కాపీ ఉండదు. And first student members are different from second student members are different from third student. So each student structure variable will have separate copy of one roll number, name, and percentage. This you have to remember. So I'm just thinking about 30 students, so that I created what 30 student array. But in our class we have 60 students, so that I'm going with the 60 instead of writing S1, S2, S3, S4, S6 like up to S60. For example, when students are writing any online examinations, thousands of people will be there. How can you store thousands of people data? Can you create S1 to S1 lakh or S1 2 lakh students? That cannot be possible here. So that we will go for array concept only. Here, what is the first structure variable? S of 0 will be the first student structure. Then what about the second structure variable? S of 1 will be the second student structure. Second structure variable. What about the third structure variable? S of 2 will be the third structure variable. Actually, S of 0 means S1, S of 1 means S2, S of 2 means S3, S4, S5. Like that we have to create, but we are going with the array concept. So array index must start with the 0. S of 0 means a first structure variable. That S of 0 will have a separate copy of roll number, and separate copy of name, and separate copy of percentage. So into that S of 0, you can store first student roll number, first student name, and first student percentage. And what about S1? It is a second student structure variable. This will have separate roll number, and separate name, and separate percentage. And what about S2? S2 is the third structure variable. Again, it will have one more copy of roll number, one more copy of name, one more copy of percentage. Like this, we have how many? Like this, so many we have up to S of starting from 0, 50,
59.
59.
9 will also have separate copy of roll number, and separate copy of name, and separate copy of. So with this, we create what all 60 student variables. So after you created variables, we have to give the values to all the 60 students. Then we go for accessing all the students values. First we created 60 student structures. After creation, for all the 60 students, we have to give the roll number, name, percentage. After giving the values to 60 students, we will print all the 60 students roll number, name, and percentage. So giving the values to all the 60 students is problematic. We cannot give all the 60 students at a time, because it is a lengthy it will become a lengthy. So we just consider for three students. So it will be easy for explanation. In a real time, you can give all the 60 student data. So what is S3? S3 is a array of 3 structure variables. So how many structure variables you have? S of 0 is a first structure variable, first student. S of 1 will be second student. S of 2 will be third student. 3 students you created. 3 students you created. So for these 3 students, we have to give the values. Whenever you are using the arrays, I already told you what disturbance ఉంది. Disturbance ఉందమ్మా.
సార్ మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది సార్.
వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుందా? హలో, ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, amma. So we will see for 3 student example. First we will assign the values into 3 students. Then we will access with that example. We will close the today's session. Okay, na? This is the last example, right? So how to give the values? First you ask the user to enter the values. So I am using the for loop. Here I starts with 0 semicolon. I must be less than how many students we have? 3 students. I must be less than 3. And I plus plus. Open the brace, close the brace, and just create the integer variable, integer I, because the for loop variable we are created, so that we have to create the I variable also here. So loop will iterate how many times? Starting from 0 to less than 3?
3 times.
3 times. So whenever loop is iterating for 3 times, then we will capture the 3 student values like this. 3 student values. First one, I am asking the user to enter first name. Just use the simple printf statement. In the new line, ask the user, please enter roll number and name and percentage. We need what? First student roll number, first student name, and first student percentage we need. So the same thing we are asking. So how to represent percentage first student? Here you write down, please enter percentile D student. Percentile D means we will print first student or second student or third student. We will print here in the place of percentile D. So please enter percentile D student, roll number, name, and percentage. And how to replace whether he is a first student or second student or third student? Just here you write down after double quotation, comma, I variable plus 1. So I variable start with 0. That means we are talking about first student. 0 plus 1, 1. So in place of percentile D, what is printed? 1 is printed. So now you read, enter first student roll number, name, and percentage. Like that it will be printed. So whenever user is asking to enter first student roll number, name, and percentage, by using the scanf, you capture all the 3 members. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. First he will enter what? First he will enter roll number. Roll number is captured with the percentile D space, and name can be captured with the percentile S.
Yes.
Comma. The
Percentile F.
Percentile F. Floating point will be captured with F. So first student name is captured with the percentile. First student roll number will be captured with the percentile D, and first student name is captured with the percentile S, and first student that particular percentage will be captured with the percentile F first time for the first repetition. So now when you capture percentile D, roll number, percentile S, name, and percentile F floating point with the scanf, and where you are going to store all those roll number, name, and floating point values, you have to give after comma. So percentile D roll number will go into the S of first student. First student means first time I. First time I means what? What is the first time? First time value of I? 0. That means we are talking about first student. So S of 0 dot into what you are going to store the roll number? Into roll. So as we are talking about a roll number, we have to use the address operator. comma, and you captured name with the percentile s, and where you are going to store that percentile s name? Into the
Name.
first student name s of I. First time I variable will be 0. S of 0 means first student. S of 0 dot name. If you write
Name.
to that name, what will go? Percentile s. So here you don't have to use any address operator, because that string name is a pointer to itself, comma, last one percentile f is a floating point value, percentage, into
Per
what you are
percentage.
going to store? Into the first student s of 0. S of 0 means s of I
I.
dot into where you are
Per.
going to store percentage? Into percentage. So for first repetition, first student roll number, name, and percentage will be captured and will be stored into s of roll number, s of name, and s of percentage. As this is s of I also floating point type, we have to use address operator. Except to s name, in all the places we have to use address operator. And whenever loop is iterating for second time, what is printed here? Enter second student roll number and name percentage, and I variable will be 1 plus 1 2. In place of percentile d, 2 is printed, and totally what is printed on the monitor? Enter second student roll number, name, percentage. And scanf will be capturing percentile d place, in the place of percentile d second student, roll number. In the place of percentile
Name percentage.
name. In the third place, percentile a floating point percentage, second student percentage will be captured and will be stored into respective s of 1. S of 1 means what? S of I means what? 1. 1 means second student structure variable. So into second student roll number, name, and percentage will be stored. And whenever loop is iterating for third time, what is the I variable value? 2. 2 plus 1 3. And what is printed in the printf statement? Enter third student roll number, name, and percentage. And by using the scanf, we will capture third student roll number, name, and percentage, and will go and store into the respective s of roll number, s of name, and s of percentage, right? And all these things
sir.
are this for loop block is used to capture the 3 student data, 3 student data. Here you delete everything here, and no need to do anything. Delete everything. Back. Right. So only for capturing this 3 student data only, we return one for loop. So this is for capturing. This is for capturing.
Capturing.
This is for storing the values into 3 students. Just press the F9, Alt F9, 0 errors. Just press the Control F9. What is asking? Please enter. Excuse me.
Printf
We will
statement
write
we have to.
CLR SCR. We forget to write what?
CLR SCR.
Yeah. CLR SCR. After declaration of all the variables, write down CLR SCR, opening brace, parenthesis, and closing parenthesis. Save the program and Control F9. Please enter first student roll number, name, percentage. We will write 1. Roll number is 1. Enter. Name is ABC. Enter. Floating point value 33 point some 3. Enter. So what is there? Some abnormal program termination. Here also see floating point is not supporting. So that we create what? We turn the floating point into integer. Okay. It is not accepting the floating point. So percentage also I am converting into integer.
Integer.
Here also in the scanf I am converting percentile f into percentile d.
D.
Now one more time, Control F9. First student roll number. Please enter first student roll number 1, and first student name is ABC. Enter first student percentage is 30, and next what? Please enter second student roll number is 2, and second student name is XYZ. and the second student percentage is 40. And what third time loop is iterating, please enter third student roll number is 3, and what name is PQRS, PQR, and third student percentage is 50, and enter. Just come back. We just written the code for entering the
3 students.
value to 3 students, but we are not written any code for printing the 3 students. Now we are trying to, first for loop is what? For what we written this for loop?
For repetition of the number of students data.
For 3 student, for input of
3 students.
Very good.
3 students data.
3 students data. So this for loop will capture 3 students data. If you want to capture the 30 student data, then what you have to do here, you increase the size to 30 in the array. Then for loop must be less
I
than
is greater than
30, so that the single for loop will capture 30 student data. If you want to store this 60 student data, just increase the array size to 30 to 60. For loop, I must be less than 60. But when
60.
you write 30 or 60, what will happen? We have to queue the 30 students data and the 60 student data. It will take a lot of time. So that just I'm considering only 3 students. When you're practicing at home, you can increase the size to 30 and 60, you can practice. So now,
Okay, sir.
we just written the code for 3 student input data. Now I am writing the code for output of. Output means accessing 3 students data and monitor. For output of
3 students.
3 student data. ఏదైతే మనం ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చినామో దాని అవుట్పుట్ యాక్సెస్ చేసుకొని మానిటర్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయడానికి
డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది సార్.
వన్ మోర్ ఫర్ లూప్. సో అవుట్పుట్ ఆఫ్
Disturbance.
డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది సార్.
హలో
సార్.
చెప్పు. 3 స్టూడెంట్ డేటా. ఓకేనమ్మా?
సార్.
Yes, sir.
ఓకే. విత్ దిస్ వి కంప్లీటెడ్. ఈ ఒక్క ఫర్ లూప్ రాసుకుంటే సెషన్ అయిపోద్ది. రైట్. సో
Okay, sir.
ఫర్ 3 స్టూడెంట్స్ అగైన్ వన్ మోర్ ఫర్ లూప్. యు స్టార్ట్ విత్ ఫర్, అండ్ how many student data you have to print?
3.
3 students.
So you have to repeat the loop for 3 times. So I variable starts with 0 and I must be less than 3. Starting
3.
from 0 to less than 3 means up to 2
Only 3
iterations.
students.
0, 1 and 2. So only 0 iteration, 1 iteration, 2 iteration. When I variable is increased to 2 to 3, 3 less than 3 is going to be false. So loop is going to be iterated only 3 times when you write the I less than 3. Now you write down I
Sir,
plus. చెప్పమ్మా.
సార్ ఇక్కడ మీరు అంటే మనం ఇక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ తర్వాత మనం మళ్ళీ డిక్లరేషన్ ఇవ్వక్కర్లేదా సార్?
ఎక్కడ?
ఇక్కడ ఫర్ లూప్ ముందు ఇప్పుడు టైప్ చేసిన ఫర్ లూప్ ముందు మళ్ళీ స్ట్రక్ట్ స్టూడెంట్ 3 అది డిక్లరేషన్ ఇవ్వక్కర్లేదా?
No need. Only one time declaration. That's it.
ఓకే సార్.
Only one time declaration. So first for loop is for input the data. 3 students లోకి డేటా వెళ్తుంది ఫస్ట్ ఫర్ లూప్ లో. ఇప్పుడు మనం రాసే ఫర్ లూప్ లో ఏదైతే ఫస్ట్ ఫర్ లూప్
Output.
డేటా ఏదైతే ఉందో అది మళ్ళీ మనమే రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకొని we will print on the monitor. That's it.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
So how to print? We will use the printf function. We will use the printf function. In the double quotation, I am writing a new line, and first what I have to print? Student name. Student name equal to percentile s space, again one more backslash n I am using here, backslash n,
Yes.
and student what? Student name,
రోల్ నంబర్.
student roll number equal to percentile f, percentile d only. Again one more backslash
Black session.
and student
Percentage.
student
పర్సంటేజ్
Percentage.
student
Percentage.
percentage equal to percentile
పర్సంటైల్ డి.
d
F.
only, comma. How to replace percentile s, percentile d? You have to write after comma. First percentile s is replaced with s of 0. S of 0 means I. First time I variable is 0. So s of 0, first student variable dot, what you have to print?
Name.
Name. And what about second percentile D? Roll number you have to print. Which roll number? S of 0. S of 0
Of I.
So
S
S
of I.
I dot roll number you have to print, comma, and S of 0. That means S of I, first student dot variable dot
Percentage.
you have to print. Percentage you have to print. After printing one student data, you will take 3 new lines. So that separation will be there for 3 student data. So this single printf statement will print all the 3 students data, because 3 times loop will iterate, then 3 times printf function will iterate. When 3 times printf function is iterating, 3 students data will be printed. So let me compile the program, Alt F9. So one error is there. What is the error? Semicolon is missing. Where?
Yes, sir. Opening and closing parents.
Yeah. In the printf, the printf statement forgot.
End of this statement anukunta, sir.
Yeah. we forgot, right? After
Yes, sir.
we have to keep one semicolon. Alt F9. F9 you press, 0 errors. Now you go for the control F9. So first it is asking for what? Inputting the data. First student, please enter first student roll number, name and percentage. Roll number is what? 1. Enter. First student name is A, B, C. Enter. And first student percentage is 10 only. 10 only he got. And enter. Now loop is iterating for second time and is asking for second student roll number, name and percentage. Second student roll number is 2 and second student name is XYZ and second student percentage is only 20. I am taking 10 and 20 because floating point data type is not working in Turbo C. Okay, na? If it is working in your Turbo C, you can go with the floating point only. So loop is iterating for third time and it is asking, please enter third student roll number, name and percentage. Third student roll number is 3 and third student name is PQR and you enter what? 30. When you press enter here, we will go for second for loop. That second for loop also again it will iterate 3 times. When it is iterating 3 times, printf function will also iterate 3 times and it will print all the 3 students data. So now I am pressing enter. You see, first student name equal to ABC. Second student roll number equal to 1. Student percentage is 10. That is about first student. Second block is about student name is equal to XYZ. Second student name. And the student roll number is equal to 2 and student percentage equal to 20. The second block is about second student data.
Second student.
And third block is about student name equal to PQR and student roll number is equal to 3 and student percentage equal to 30. We just created only 3 student structure variables so that we are able to create only 3 student data. But if you want to create 60 student data, then increase the size from 3 to 60 and here I variable must be less than 60 and I variable must be less than 60. And this concept is array of structure variables, array of structures. This is a separate topic. You don't know that we discussed the array of structure topic, but the array of structure topic is also over. What is the array of structure? You see this one. I'm pointing out. This S of 3 is what? Array of
structure.
Array of 3 structure variables. So this is one separate topic, array of structures. So S of 3 means S is a array of 3 structure variables. What is S? Array of 3 structure variables. This is nothing but array of structure topic. So in this particular example, what we completed array structure definition we completed, and we discussed 4 important subheadings. First one is how to define a structure we discussed, and how to
create a variable for
structure we discussed, and how to initialize the values into structure we discussed. After initialization, how to access also we discussed. How to access? By using the dot operator, by using the dot operator.
Dot operator.
So after this, we got a doubt that, sir, we are creating structure for one student, second student, third student. But what if we have the number of students, for example, 60 students or 600 students, 1000 students are there, then we are unable to create like S1, S2, S3, S1000. That is problematic. Then what is the solution? We are going with the array of structures.
Structure variable.
If you want to create 1000 student data, 1000 student structures, then what we have to do? We have to create a array of 1000 structure variables. That means S of 1000. Then 1000 student data you can easily store. Then let me give the example for that. Just I will change the number. For example, if you want to store the CSC A section or D section data, 60 members. So S of 60 here. And how can you enter 60 student data?
I is less than 60.
I must
I
be
is less than 60.
60. Then how many times loop is going
Yes.
to be iterated starting from 0
60
to
times.
59? How many times? 60 times. So 60 times you will
Yes.
enter the data, 60 student data. And how to print 60 student data here? I must be less than
60.
60 here also. Then loop is going to be iterated for starting from 0 to 59, totally 60. 60 times printf will execute and 60 student data will be printed. Not only for 60, you can even more try for 600, 6000, 6 lakh students also. So with this, we completed a total almost 90% of the structure topic is completed. And question will come like this. Briefly explain about structure means up to 4 important points only you have to write. No need to write array of structures. Array of structure
Okay.
topic will be asked separately. Separate long answer. Array of structure is a separate long answer. Don't club into that 4 important side headings. దాని కింద రాదు ఇది. Array of structure topic అనేది separate long answer అది. ఓకేనా? ఈ 4 important
Okay,
points
sir.
ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అది separate question అది. ఓకేనమ్మా? With this we completed today's
Okay,
session and we will start a new topic tomorrow. I mean Monday. Tomorrow Sunday we will take holiday
sir.
tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
సండే హాలిడే తీసుకుందామా క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా
మండే సార్ మండే
చెప్పండి సార్ పర్లేదు.
వి స్టార్ట్ విత్ మండే ఓకే నో ప్రాబ్లం సండే యూ కెన్ ఎంజాయ్
నో సార్ బయటకు పంపిస్తారు సార్
బయట అదే ఎంజాయ్ చేయండి ఇంట్లోనే
సార్
చెప్పమ్మా
మనకి స్ట్రింగ్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఇంకా కాలేదు కదా
దానికి నేను ఒకటి ఇది పెట్టినా కదా మన సందీప్ సార్ది వీడియో పెట్టిన క్లియర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉంది దాంట్లో
ఓకే దానిలో చూసాను సార్ ఆల్రెడీ బట్ మీరు ఒకసారి చెప్తే కొంచెం బాగుంటుంది అని అడుగుతున్నా
ఓకే నేను ట్రై చేస్తా ఎందుకంటే అది ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ కంటే బోర్డు మీద బాగుంటుందేమో అనిపించింది సో పాసిబిలిటీ ఉన్నవని ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నాను నేను టైం ఉంటే చెప్పేస్తా అది కూడా కానీ సందీప్ సార్ది కూడా క్లియర్ కట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఏం లేదు దాంట్లో ఎలా అడుగుతాడు క్వశ్చన్ అంటే స్ట్రింగ్ మ్యానిపులేషన్ ఫంక్షన్ కూడా గన్ షాట్ క్వశ్చన్ అది he will ask you a question like explain about any 5 string manipulation functions అంటాడు అప్పుడు స్ట్రింగ్ రివర్స్ కానీ తర్వాత స్ట్రింగ్ అప్పర్ కేస్ లోవర్ కేస్ చాలా ఒక ఫంక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి
7 ఉన్నాయి సార్
7 ఉంటాయి దాంట్లో ఒక 5-6 గుర్తు పెట్టుకొని మీకు ఎంతవరకు రాయగలిగితే అంతవరకు రాయండి ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి దాంట్లో 10-20 కూడా ఉన్నాయి స్ట్రింగ్ మ్యానిపులేషన్ ఫంక్షన్స్ సో ఈజీగా మనం ఒక 7 ఏదో చెప్పుకున్నాము మన మెటీరియల్ లో కూడా ఉన్నాయి లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైం అనుకుంటా అందుకనే కొంచెం చెప్పలేదు ఒకసారి వీడియో చూడండి అర్థం కాకపోతే మళ్ళీ నేను టైం ఉన్నప్పుడు ఐ విల్ గో ఫర్ దట్ ఓకేనా
ఓకే
ఓకే సార్